Jin Sok Park stood in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council. The huge room stretched up so high that clouds formed near the ceiling. Around him sat representatives from hundreds of worlds. Some looked like giant insects. Others were made of living crystal. A few were just balls of light that spoke through machines. Jin wore the simple blue uniform of Earth's diplomatic service. He had been humanity's voice in this place for 10 years. Before that, he had been a soldier. He understood war better than most people in this room. That was why the Zephyrian demands worried him so much. The Zephyrians stood at the center of the hall. They were tall and thin, with gray skin that looked like metal. Their eyes were black and round. When they moved together like a school of fish. Commander Vex High stepped forward. His voice came out as a series of clicks and hisses that the translation machines turned into words. The human species has shown its true nature, Vex High said. They are violent. They are unpredictable. They cannot be trusted with the resources of space. Jin felt his hands tighten into fists. He forced them to relax. Getting angry would not help anyone. We demand that humanity surrender all mining rights in their space sectors, Vex High continued. We also demand that human military forces be reduced by 90%. Earth will accept Zephyrian oversight of all space activities. Number 1. Don't court. Vex High continued. Vex High continued. Vex High continued. The hall fell silent. Jin could hear his own heartbeat. Around him, alien representatives whispered to each other in dozens of languages. The council speaker, a being that looked like a walking tree, raised one branch-like arm. Ambassador Park, how does humanity respond to these demands? Jin stood slowly. He had practiced this moment in his mind many times. He knew what he wanted to say. He also knew it would not work. Honored council members, Jin began. Humanity has been a peaceful member of this council for 50 years. We have followed all laws. We have helped other species when they asked. We have never started a war. And well, you started dozens of wars on your own planet, Vex High interrupted. Yes, Jin said. We did. But we learned from those mistakes. That is why we created this council. That is why we work together now. Working together? Vex High's voice rose. Your mining operations take resources that could feed entire worlds. Your military ships patrol space like you own it. Your people spread to every system they can reach. This is not cooperation. This is expansion. Jin took a deep breath. We mine asteroids that no one else wants. We patrol trade routes to keep them safe from pirates. We explore empty systems. How is this wrong? Because you are predators pretending to be peaceful, Vex High said. The other Zephyrians moved closer to him. You hunt. You kill. You take what you want. But you are failed predators. You had to work together because you were too weak to hunt alone. The hall erupted in noise. Some species shouted agreement with the Zephyrians. Others defended humanity. Jin waited for quiet. What exactly are you asking for? Jin said. 72 standard hours, Vex High said. Humanity will agree to our terms. If you do not, we will show this council what real predators can do. We will show you the consequences of awakening true hunters. Jin felt something cold move down his spine. This was not about mining rights. This was about fear. But what did the Zephyrians fear? The council speaker called for a recess. Jin walked quickly to the human section of the building. His assistant, Lee Soo-jin, was waiting with a communication device. Admiral Choi wants to speak with you, she said. Jin put on the headset. Admiral Choi Min-jun's voice came through clearly. I watched the whole thing, Choi said. What do you think? I think they're scared of us, Jin said. But I don't know why. Because Because maybe they should be scared. Jin looked around to make sure no one was listening. What do you mean? Jin, how long have we been friends? 20 years, since the academy. And in all that time, have I ever lied to you? No. Then trust me now. Humanity has not been as helpless as we pretend. We have been preparing for this day, since we joined the council. If you didn't, Jin felt his heart speed up. Preparing? How? Every colony, every mining station, every cargo ship. They are all connected. They are all watching. They are all ready. Ready for what? To show the galaxy that we never stopped being hunters. We just learned to hunt smarter. Jin looked out the window at the ships in space around the council station. He could see human vessels mixed in with alien ones. Cargo ships. Passenger liners. Research vessels. They all looked peaceful and normal. How many people know? Jin asked. Everyone who needs to know. Jin, the Zephyrians are right about one thing. We are predators. But they are wrong about everything else. We are not failed predators. We are evolved predators. We hunt in packs, we plan, we wait. We strike only when we must. And if they attack? Then they will learn why Earth's predators ruled their planet for millions of years. Jin looked back at the council hall. The Zephyrians were still there, talking with their allies. They moved like a flock of birds. They thought alike. They acted alike. They were strong because they were many. But humans were different. Humans could think for themselves and still work together. Humans could disagree and still fight side by side. Humans could wait years for the right moment to act. Admiral, Jin said, how long have you been planning this? Since the day we joined the council, we knew someone would challenge us eventually. We just had to be ready. Jin smiled for the first time that day. What are your orders? Keep talking. Keep being diplomatic. But remember, Jin, you are not trying to avoid a fight. You are giving them one last chance to walk away. Jin took off the headset. He looked at Li Su-jin, who was watching him with worried eyes. Are we going to war? She asked. No, Jin said. We are going to show them that the hunt never ended. It just got more interesting. He walked back toward the council hall. The Zephyrians wanted to see predators. They were about to learn that the most dangerous predators were the ones who chose when to hunt. Dr. Li Hana watched the screens in her laboratory on Luna Station. 24 hours had passed since the Zephyrian ultimatum. The alien fleet was moving toward human space. Their ships were huge and black, like metal sharks swimming through the stars. They will attack Colony Taeyang first. Her assistant, Park Min-woo, said. It has the smallest population. Easy target. Lee nodded. She had been studying Zephyrian behavior for 15 years. She knew how they thought. More importantly, she knew why they were afraid of humans. They are not actually predators, she said. They are prey species that learn to fight back. Min-woo looked confused. What do you mean? Lee pulled up files on her computer. Pictures of ancient Zephyrian bones filled the screen. Look at their eye placement. Side of the head, not front. Wide field of vision to watch for danger. Look at their legs, built for running, not chasing. But they conquered half the galaxy. Through numbers and fear. They overwhelm enemies with huge fleets. They make others afraid to fight back. But humans. Lee smiled. Humans are what their ancestors ran from. On Taeyang Colony, Mayor Kim Dae-won got the final evacuation report. The last transport ship had left an hour ago. The colony was empty, except for him and his security team. All families are safe on the backup stations, his deputy, Choi Yun-hee, reported. Food supplies, medical equipment, and personal belongings are secured. Kim looked around the empty streets. 2 days ago, this place had been home to 50,000 people. Now it looked like a ghost town. But looks could be fooling. "Are the recording systems ready?" he asked. "Every building, every street, every room. We will capture everything they do." Kim smiled. "Good. Let them think we ran in fear. Let them think we are weak." Oh. The first Zephyrian ships appeared in the sky 12 hours later. They were massive, each one bigger than the colony's main building. They moved slowly, like they had all the time in the world. Kim and his team watched from hidden bunkers deep underground. The aliens landed in the town square. Hundreds of them poured out of their ships. They moved in perfect formation, like a single creature with many parts. Commander Vex-High himself stepped forward. He spoke to the empty air, knowing his words were being recorded. "Humans of Colony Taeyang." His voice boomed across the empty streets. "You have abandoned your homes. You have run like the cowards you are. This colony now belongs to the Zephyrian Empire." The aliens spread through the town. They entered every building. They checked every room. They found no one. "Sir," one of Vex-High's soldiers reported, "the entire population is gone. Food is still warm in some houses. They left recently." Vex-High's black eyes darted around the empty streets. "Search harder. Humans are tricky. They might be hiding." But there was no one to find. The colonists had vanished like ghosts. What the Zephyrians did not know was that every move they made was being recorded. Every word they spoke was being analyzed. Every weak spot in their armor was being noted. Dr. Lee watched the recordings in real time. Her computer systems mapped Zephyrian movement patterns. She studied how they communicated. She watched how they reacted to unexpected situations. "Fascinating," she said to herself. "They move like a herd of animals. When one gets nervous, they all get nervous." Min Woo looked at the data. Their heart rates are elevated. Stress hormones are high. They are scared. Of course they are scared. They are in predator territory. Captain Kim Dae-won received his orders 3 hours after the Zephyrians landed on Taeyang. His ship, the Soul Wind, was small compared to the alien vessels. It was built for cargo transport, not fighting. At least, that was how it looked. "Engineering. Are the modifications ready?" Kim asked over the comm. "All systems green, Captain," came the reply. "They will never see it coming." Kim looked at his crew. There were only 12 of them. "Remember," Kim told his people, "we are not here to start a war. We are here to end one before it begins." The Soul Wind approached the Zephyrian fleet. The alien ships were arranged in a perfect circle around Colony Taeyang. 12 massive vessels, each one carrying enough firepower to destroy a moon. "Unknown human vessel," a Zephyrian voice came over the radio. Kim opened a channel to all Zephyrian ships. "This is Captain Kim Dae, one of the Earth vessel Soul Wind. I am here to collect my people from Taeyang Colony. There are no humans on Taeyang Colony. They have fled like cowards. Then you will not mind if I land and look for myself." There was a long pause. Then Vex-High's voice came through the speakers. "Captain Kim, you are brave for a coward species, but you are also foolish. Turn around now, or we will show you what real predators can do." Kim smiled. "Commander Vex-High, I have studied your species' military history. You have won many battles through fear and numbers, but you have never faced humanity in open combat. You are one small ship against 12 warships. What can you possibly do? Let me show you." The Soul Wind suddenly accelerated, but instead of running away, it flew straight toward the nearest Zephyrian vessel. The alien ship fired its weapons, but the Soul Wind was already moving in a different direction. What happened next confused every Zephyrian in the fleet. The small human ship began to dance between their vessels. It moved in ways that seemed impossible. It turned and twisted and spun like a leaf in the wind. "How is it moving like that?" A Zephyrian pilot screamed over the radio. "All ships, fire at will," Vex High ordered. The 12 warships opened fire with everything they had. Energy beams and missiles filled the space around Colony Taeyang. But they could not hit the Soul Wind. The ship moved like it could read their minds. Worse, their own weapons were hitting each other. 3 Zephyrian ships suffered damage from friendly fire. "Stop shooting," Vex High yelled. "You are hitting our own vessels." The Soul Wind suddenly appeared directly in front of Vex High's flagship. Kim's voice came through the comm system. "Commander, your weapon systems are now offline. Your engines are disabled. Your life support will fail in exactly 1 hour unless you accept my help." Vex High looked at his control panels. Every system was showing red warning lights. But how was that possible? The human ship had never fired a single shot. "What did you do to us?" Vex High demanded. "I did nothing. Your own panic did this. Your ships fired at shadows, while my vessel simply recorded your positions. Did you know that your weapon signatures can be tracked? Did you know that small electromagnetic pulses can disable your control systems?" One by one, the other Zephyrian ships began reporting the same problems. Systems failing, weapons offline, life support critical. "This is impossible," Vex High whispered. "No, Commander. This is what happens when prey species try to hunt real predators. You react with fear instead of thinking. You fire at everything instead of choosing your targets. You panic when things do not go as planned." Kim's voice became colder. "We could have destroyed all 12 of your ships in the first 30 seconds. Instead, we disabled them without killing a single one of your people. Do you understand the difference?" Vex High felt something he had not felt in decades. True fear. Not the fear of losing a battle, but the fear of being hunted by something smarter and stronger than himself. "What do you want?" he asked. "I want you to go home. I want you to tell your people what you learned here today. Humans are not cowards who run from fights. We are predators who choose when to hunt. And right now, we choose mercy." The Soul Wind disappeared as quickly as it had appeared. One by one, the Zephyrian ships limped away from Colony Taeyang. Their mighty fleet had been defeated, without a single shot being fired. Dr. Lee watched the recordings of the encounter. She smiled as she made notes in her research journal. "The hunt has begun," she said to herself, "and they still do not understand what they are really facing." Admiral Choi Min-jun stood in the command center deep beneath Seoul, Earth. The room was filled with screens showing every human settlement in the galaxy. Each dot of light represented thousands of people. Each settlement looked peaceful and defenseless. But looks were deceiving. "Admiral," his aide, Lieutenant Nam Jung-hee, reported, "the Zephyrian main fleet is moving toward the Kepler system. 2,000 ships. They are bringing everything they have." Choi nodded. "And our people? All colonies have received the awakening signal. They are ready." For 50 years, humanity had appeared weak to the galaxy. They had built small settlements instead of great cities. They had focused on trade instead of conquest. They had chosen diplomacy over war. But all of this had been carefully planned. Every human colony was connected to every other colony through hidden communication networks. Every civilian ship carried concealed weapons. Every mining station could become a fortress in minutes. Every cargo vessel could turn into a warship. The galaxy was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength was not individual power. It was the ability to work together as one enormous pack. On farming colony New Jeju, teacher Song Yeon-woo was teaching her students about Earth history. But today's lesson was different. Today, she was teaching them how to fight. "Remember," she told the 12-year-olds. "Fear makes people stupid. Anger makes people careless. But humans who think clearly can defeat enemies 100 times stronger. Anger, anger, anger." Little Park Seo-jun raised his hand. "Teacher Song, are we really going to fight the aliens?" Song knelt down beside the boy. If they come here, we will defend our home. But we are not alone. Every human in the galaxy is part of our family. We take care of each other. 3 star systems away, Merchant Captain Ryu Ji-hoon was having a similar conversation with his crew. His ship, the Busan Trader, looked like any other cargo vessel. It had been carrying farm equipment and medical supplies between colonies for 20 years. Captain, his engineer, Kim So-yeon, said, "The hidden weapons are online. The armor plating is deployed. We are ready for combat." Ryu looked at his reflection in the bridge window. He had been a merchant for most of his adult life, but before that, he had been a soldier. Many humans in space had military backgrounds. The galaxy thought they were peaceful traders. They were actually a sleeping army. "How many ships are responding to the network signal?" he asked. "All of them, sir. Every human vessel in space is checking in. Cargo ships, passenger liners, research vessels, mining barges, even the luxury cruise ships." Ryu smiled. "The Zephyrians think they are fighting a few colonies. They are about to discover they are fighting the entire human species." Commander Vex High stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Iron Claw. Around him, 2,000 Zephyrian warships moved through space in perfect formation. This was the largest fleet the Zephyrian Empire had ever assembled. "Sir," his intelligence officer reported, "we are detecting unusual activity in human space. Ships are moving. Colonies are sending signals." "Of course they are signaling," Vex High said. "Sir, there are more ships than we expected. Much more." Vex High looked at the tactical display. Thousands of red dots were appearing on the screen. Each dot was a human vessel. But that was impossible. Intelligence reports said humanity had maybe a few hundred ships in space. These must be civilian vessels, he decided. Cargo ships, running in fear. They are no threat to us. Dr. Lee Hana was aboard the research vessel Daegu Science when the network activation began. Her ship had been studying deep space phenomena for 15 years. The Zephyrians would have dismissed it as harmless. They would have been very wrong. "Dr. Lee," her assistant called. "We are receiving coordination data from Admiral Choi. Our assignment is Sector 7. Subsection 4. Lee looked at the data on her screen. Her little research ship was now part of a vast network of vessels. Each ship had a specific job. Each crew knew exactly what to do. Humanity was moving like a single organism with a million parts. "What are our orders?" she asked. "Surveillance and psychological warfare. We monitor Zephyrian communications and broadcast selected information back to them." Quote. Lee smiled. She had spent decades studying alien psychology. Now, she would put that knowledge to use. The first Zephyrian ships entered the Kepler system expecting to find a few frightened colonies. Instead, they found hundreds of human vessels waiting for them. The ships were arranged in patterns that hurt the eyes. They moved in ways that seemed random but felt somehow threatening. "This is not possible," Vex High's tactical officer reported. "Where did all these ships come from?" "Well, where did all these ships come from?" "Unknown, sir. They appeared from everywhere. Mining stations, research posts, even tourist destinations. They all had ships we never detected." Vex High studied the display. Human vessels surrounded his fleet on all sides. But they were not attacking. They were just watching. Then the broadcasts began. Dr. Lee's voice came through every speaker on every Zephyrian ship. She spoke in perfect Zephyrian language, her words calm and scientific. "Zephyrian fleet, this is Dr. Lee Hana of the human research vessel Daegu Science. I have been studying your species for many years. I know about your history. I know about your fears." "Cut that transmission," Vex High ordered. "Sir, it is coming from multiple sources. We cannot block it." Lee's voice continued. Your ancestors were prey animals on your home world. You evolved to run from predators. Large eyes to watch for danger. Strong legs to flee quickly. Group behavior for protection. Vex High felt his heart's beating faster. How did this human know such things? You conquered the galaxy through fear and overwhelming numbers. But you never learned to hunt like real predators. You never learned to think like them. The Zephyrian commander's hands were shaking now. All ships, prepare to attack! Humans are apex predators, Lee said. We evolved to hunt in coordinated packs. We can track prey across vast distances. We can wait for the perfect moment to strike. We can work together while thinking independently. Admiral Choi's voice joined the broadcast. Zephyrian fleet, you are surrounded. Look at your sensors. Count our ships. Vexy's High looked at the tactical display. The number of human vessels kept growing. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. Where were they all coming from? Every human settlement in the galaxy is connected, Choi continued. Every ship is part of our fleet. Every person is ready to defend their pack. You thought you were attacking scattered colonies. You are actually facing the entire human species. Impossible, Vex High screamed. Humans are weak. Humans are cowards. Captain Kim Dae-won's voice came through the speakers next. His small cargo ship Soul Wind appeared directly in front of the Zephyrian flagship. Commander Vex High, we meet again. Do you remember what I told you at Taeyang Colony? You said humans choose when to hunt. That is correct. And right now, we choose to give you one more chance. Leave human space. Go home. Tell your people what you have learned. I will. And if we refuse? Kim's voice became very quiet. Then you will discover that Earth's most dangerous predators are not lions or sharks or eagles. Earth's most dangerous predators are humans who have decided to protect their family. Vex High looked around his bridge. His crew was terrified. These were soldiers who had conquered star systems, but they were shaking like children. Because for the first time in their lives, they were face to face with real predators. All ships. Vex High whispered. Withdraw to safe distance. We need to reconsider our strategy. As the Zephyrian fleet pulled back, thousands of human voices spoke as one. We are pack hunters. We are family. We protect each other. And we never give up. The galaxy was about to learn why humans had ruled Earth for so long. Ambassador Jin Suk Park stood before the emergency session of the Galactic Council. The Great Hall was in chaos. Representatives from dozens of species were shouting at each other. Some demanded that humanity surrender immediately. Others called for the Council to stay neutral. Order. Order. The Council speaker's voice boomed through the hall. Ambassador Park, the Council demands an explanation. Your species has revealed military capabilities that were never reported. This is a violation of Council law. Jin looked around the hall. He saw fear in many eyes, but he also saw something else. Respect. For the first time since humans joined the Council, other species were taking them seriously. Honored Council members, Jin began. Humanity has broken no laws. We reported our military capabilities accurately. We have exactly the number of warships we said we had. But the ships in Kepler system, a crystal being interrupted. Are civilian vessels exercising their right to self-defense, Jin said calmly. Every species has this right. Under Council law. In space above Kepler Prime, the real battle was beginning. But it was not the kind of battle anyone expected. Commander Ryu Ji-hoon floated in zero gravity inside the captured Zephyrian destroyer Swift Death. Around him, his boarding team was carefully restraining the alien crew. No one had been hurt. No one had been killed. Sir, his lieutenant, Park Hee-jin, reported. All enemy crew members are secured. Their weapons are disabled. The ship is under our control. Ryu nodded. This was the 15th Zephyrian vessel his team had captured in the past 6 hours. Each capture had been carried out the same way. Fast, precise, and without unnecessary violence. "Any injuries to our people or theirs?" he asked. "Negative, sir. Some bruises. Nothing serious." This was the human way of fighting. They disabled rather than destroyed. They captured rather than killed. They showed mercy even to enemies who showed them none. Dr. Lee Hanna was monitoring Zephyrian communications from her research ship. The alien fleet was falling apart, not from weapons fire, but from confusion and fear. "Dr. Lee," her assistant said, "I am picking up panic signals from multiple Zephyrian ships. Their crews are abandoning their posts." Lee studied the data. They do not understand what is happening to them. Their training never prepared them for an enemy that thinks differently. Their 2020-2020-2012. Their training, unquote. Their training, their 2020-2020-2012. On her screens, she could see the battle unfolding. Human ships moved like wolves, hunting elk. They separated individual Zephyrian vessels from the main fleet. They attacked systems rather than crew. They used the aliens' own group mentality against them. When one Zephyrian ship panicked, nearby ships panicked too. When one captain made a mistake, other captains made the same mistake. Their greatest strength, moving as one, had become their greatest weakness. Captain Kim Dae-won piloted the Soul Wind through a cloud of debris. Around him, dozens of Zephyrian ships drifted helplessly in space. Their weapons were destroyed. Their engines were dead. But their crews were alive. "Captain," his communications officer called, "we are receiving a distress signal from the Zephyrian flagship." Kim smiled grimly. "Put it through." Commander Vex High's voice was shaking. "Human vessel Soul Wind. Our life support is failing. We request assistance." "Of course, Commander. Sending rescue teams immediately." 20 minutes later, Kim stood face to face with Vex's High in the medical bay of the Soul Wind. The Zephyrian commander was not injured, but he looked broken inside. "Why?" Vex High asked. "Why did you save us?" "We came to destroy you." Kim sat down across from the alien. "Because that is what predators do when the hunt is over. We do not kill for pleasure. We kill only when necessary. And it was not necessary to kill you. I do not understand humans. You understand fear. You understand anger. You understand the need to survive. Those are the things we share. The difference is that humans learn to control these feelings instead of being controlled by them." Admiral Choi Min-jun received reports from across the battlefield. The numbers were incredible. 300 Zephyrian ships captured, 500 disabled, 0 human casualties, 0 alien deaths. "Admiral," his aide reported, "the remaining Zephyrian fleet is requesting permission to withdraw." "Granted. But first, patch me through to their fleet commander." The face of a terrified Zephyrian admiral appeared on the screen. "Human admiral. We surrender. Please do not destroy us." "I have no intention of destroying you," Choi said. "But I want you to understand something. This was not a battle. This was a demonstration." "A demonstration? You wanted to see what human predators could do. We showed you. We could have destroyed your entire fleet in the first hour. Instead, we chose to capture your ships and save your crews. Do you understand the difference?" The alien admiral's voice was barely a whisper. "You could have killed us all. Yes. But we chose not to. This is what makes humans different from other predators. We have the power to destroy, but we use that power to protect." Back in the council chambers, Ambassador Jin was facing angry questions from dozens of species. "How long have you been hiding this capability?" demanded the insect-like representative from Hive Cluster 7. "We have not been hiding anything," Jin replied. We have been preparing. Every species in this council has the right to defend itself. Humanity simply chose to be very good at defense. But your tactics began a gas cloud, being from the Nebula Confederation. Our tactics reflect our nature, Jin interrupted. Humans are social predators. We hunt in packs. We coordinate our actions. We share information. We adapt to new situations. These are not military secrets. These are basic facts about human biology. The council speaker raised a branch arm for silence. The Zephyrian Empire has withdrawn their ultimatum. They are requesting council mediation for a new treaty with humanity. Jin nodded. Humanity accepts. We hope this experience has taught everyone something valuable. And what is that, Ambassador? Jin looked around the hall. He saw species that had dismissed humanity for 50 years. He saw civilizations that had thought humans were weak and primitive. All of them were looking at him with new eyes. That strength is not about the ability to destroy, Jin said. True strength is about the wisdom to know when destruction is necessary, and the restraint to stop when it is not. Dr. Lee Hanna was preparing her final report when a message came through from the Zephyrian science vessel that had been monitoring the battle. Dr. Lee, this is Dr. Zektar of the Zephyrian Research Academy. May we speak privately? Lee was surprised. Of course, Dr. Zektar. The alien scientist appeared on her screen. He looked exhausted and frightened. Dr. Lee, I have studied your species for many years, but I never understood. How do you do it? Do what? How do you work together so perfectly while still thinking as individuals? My people can only act as a group. Your people can act as a group while remaining independent. This should be impossible. Lee smiled gently. It is not impossible. It just requires trust. Each human trusts that other humans will do their part. We do not need to think the same thoughts. We just need to share the same goals. And what are your goals? To protect our family. To explore the universe. To help others when we can. To learn new things. To build a better future for our children. Dr. Zektar was quiet for a long moment. These are good goals. Yes, Lee agreed. They are. And that is why we fight so hard to protect them. As the human fleet began to disperse, returning to their normal activities, a message was broadcast across the galaxy. It came from Admiral Choi, but it spoke for all humanity, to all species in Council space. Humanity does not seek to rule over others. We do not wish to conquer or control, but we will defend ourselves and our allies with everything we have. We are predators. Yes, but we are predators who choose to hunt only injustice, oppression, and those who harm the innocent. We hope you will remember this. The age of underestimating humanity was over. The galaxy had finally learned what Earth's apex predators could do when they worked together. And more importantly, they had learned what humans chose not to do, even when they had the power to do it. 6 months had passed since the Kepler incident. That was what the galaxy called it now. The day humanity revealed its true nature to the universe. Ambassador Jin Sok Park stood once again in the Great Hall of the Galactic Council, but everything was different. The Zephyrian delegation sat in a smaller section now. Their empire had lost half its territory when dozens of species declared independence after learning that someone could stand up to Zephyrian power. Commander Vexhai was no longer their representative. He had requested a transfer to their science division, saying he wanted to study human cooperation methods. The council recognizes Ambassador Park, the speaker announced. Jin stood slowly. Around him, representatives from hundreds of worlds watched with respectful attention. No one interrupted him anymore. No one dismissed human concerns. Fear and respect had taught them better manners. Honored council members, Jin began. 3 months ago, the hegemony attacked the peaceful Violet Garden system. The plant people there had no military forces. They were farmers and artists. The hegemony planned to enslave them for labor. Murmurs filled the hall. Everyone knew what had happened next. Human ships had arrived within hours. The hegemony fleet had been disabled and captured without firing a shot. The plant people were safe. 2 months ago, pirates from the Crimson Nebula began raiding trade routes in the Outer Rim. Local security forces could not stop them. Merchant ships were being destroyed. Innocent crews were being killed. More murmurs. The pirates had lasted exactly 1 week after human patrol ships arrived. They had surrendered when they realized that human vessels could track them through hyperspace itself. Last month, the Synthetic Republic demanded that all organic species in the Tau sector submit to optimization procedures. They threatened to destroy any world that refused. The hall was completely silent now. The Synthetic Republic had been the most feared empire in that region. Their robot armies were unstoppable. Until they met humans who could think faster than their computers could calculate. In each case, Jin continued, humanity was asked to help. In each case, we responded. We did not seek conquest. We did not claim territory. We did not demand tribute. We simply stopped those who were harming the innocent. The insect representative from Hive Cluster 7 raised a claw. Ambassador Park, the Council appreciates human assistance, but some species are concerned about human power. You have shown abilities that rival the ancient civilizations. Jin nodded. We understand these concerns. That is why humanity is proposing the Guardian Protocol. He activated a holographic display that filled the center of the hall. It showed a detailed plan that human scientists and diplomats had been working on for months. The Guardian Protocol is simple, Jin explained. Any species that is attacked by a more powerful enemy can request human assistance. We will respond within 72 hours. We will use the minimum force necessary to stop the aggression. We will not claim territory or demand payment. We will leave as soon as the threat is ended. A crystal being flickered with nervous energy. What guarantees do we have that humans will not abuse this power? Jin smiled. The same guarantee we have always given. Our word. But more than that, you have seen how we fight. We capture instead of killing. We disable instead of destroying. We protect instead of conquering. This is our nature. Dr. Lee Hanna was in her new laboratory on Council Station 7, studying the psychological effects of the Guardian Protocol. Her research had become vital to understanding how different species reacted to human protection. Dr. Lee, her assistant, Young-Q-1, said, "We have received another request for analysis. The Merchant League wants to know if human protection would affect their trade independence." Lee reviewed the data on her screen. Tell them that protected species actually show increased trade activity. When people feel safe, they take more risks. When they take more risks, they create more opportunities. This was the unexpected result of human protection. Instead of making species dependent, it made them stronger. Pirates and bullies avoided areas under human protection. Trade flourished in safe space. Art and science advanced when people did not have to worry about survival. Captain Kim Dae-won sat in the captain's chair of his new ship, the Sejong Guardian. It was still a cargo vessel, but it had been upgraded with the latest human technology. Around him, his crew monitored dozens of star systems for signs of trouble. Captain, his communications officer, Lee Min-ho, reported, "We are receiving a distress call from the Singing Whale Migration Fleet. They are under attack by harvester ships." Kim sighed. The harvesters were a machine civilization that consumed organic matter for fuel. They saw the singing whales as nothing more than mobile energy sources. Set course for their position. Maximum speed. Sir, the harvester fleet has 50 ships. We are one vessel. Kim smiled. Min-ho, how long have you been serving on human ships? 3 years, sir. And in those 3 years, how many times have you seen humans lose a fight when they were protecting innocent people? Minho thought for a moment. Never, sir. Exactly. The harvesters are about to learn why. Commander Vexhai, now Dr. Vexhai, watched the rescue operation through his telescope. The Sejong Guardian had arrived in the Singing Whale system to find 50 harvester ships attacking the peaceful migration fleet. What happened next still amazed him, even after months of studying human tactics. The single human ship did not attack the harvesters directly. Instead, it began broadcasting complex mathematical patterns. The patterns interfered with harvester computer systems, causing their ships to malfunction. Within an hour, the entire harvester fleet was drifting helplessly in space. Their weapons were offline. Their engines were dead. Their computers were crashed. Captain Kim's voice came through the comm system. Harvester fleet. This space is under the protection of humanity. You will withdraw immediately and never return. Your ships will be repaired enough to reach your home territory safely. But if you threaten innocent beings again, we will be less generous. 1. 2. The harvesters limped away without a word. The singing whales continued their migration safely. Dr. Vexhai made notes in his research journal. Human tactical superiority appears to be based on adaptability and precision rather than raw firepower. They defeat enemies by understanding them better than enemies understand themselves. Back in council chambers, the debate over the Guardian Protocol continued. What about species that do not want human protection? Asked the gas cloud representative. Then they will not receive it. Jin replied simply. The Guardian Protocol is completely voluntary. We will only help those who ask for help. Jin. And what if a species asks for help against humanity? Jin paused. This was the question he had been expecting. Then the council will investigate the complaint. If humanity has acted wrongly, we will accept punishment and make restitution. We are not above the law. Thank you for watching. Once again. The council speaker raised an arm. The vote on the Guardian Protocol will be held in 1 week. All species will have time to consider. As the session ended, Jin was approached by an unexpected visitor. It was the representative from the Violet Garden system, one of the first species humanity had protected. Ambassador Park. The plant being said in its whispered voice. My people wanted me to give you this. It handed Jin a small crystal that glowed with soft green light. It is a seed from our most sacred grove. The being explained. It will only grow in soil that has been blessed by pure intentions. We would like humanity to plant it on Earth as a symbol of what you have given us. Jin felt tears forming in his eyes. We would be honored. Dr. Lee Hana was completing her final report on the Guardian Protocol when she received a message that surprised her. It was from Dr. Zektar, the Zephyrian scientist. Dr. Lee, the message read. The Zephyrian Council has voted to request Guardian Protocol protection for our outer colonies. We never thought we would ask for human help, but recent attacks by the Shadow Collective have shown us that we need allies. Lee smiled as she typed her reply. Dr. Zektar, humanity would be honored to protect Zephyrian colonies. We will also share our defensive technologies with your people, so you can better protect yourselves in the future. This was the ultimate goal of the Guardian Protocol. Not to make humanity the permanent protector of the galaxy, but to make the galaxy strong enough to protect itself. 1 week later, the vote was held. The Guardian Protocol passed by an overwhelming margin. Only 3 species voted against it, and even they admitted it was not because they opposed the idea, but because they feared becoming dependent on human protection. Jin stood before the council one more time. Honored members, humanity accepts the responsibility you have given us. We promise to use our strength wisely. We promise to protect the innocent. We promise to never abuse the trust you have placed in us. The council speaker's voice carried across the hall. Ambassador Park, The galaxy has learned something important from humanity. Power without wisdom is tyranny. But wisdom with power, that is justice. As Jin left the council chambers, he thought about the long journey that had brought them to this moment. 50 years ago, humans had joined the council as a small, weak species. They had been ignored, dismissed, underestimated. Now they were the guardians of galactic peace. Not because they had conquered anyone, but because they had chosen to protect everyone. The hunt was over. The pack was safe, and in the vast darkness of space, the light of human compassion burned bright enough to guide the entire galaxy home. Admiral Choi Min-jun sent a final message to all human ships across the galaxy, to all vessels under the Guardian Protocol. Remember why we fight. Not for territory, not for resources, not for glory. We fight for the right of every being in this galaxy to live without fear. We fight so that children can grow up safe. We fight so that artists can create beauty. We fight so that explorers can seek new wonders. This is what it means to be human. This is what it means to be a guardian. The galaxy had asked to see humanity's true nature. They had seen apex predators who chose mercy over massacre. They had seen pack hunters who hunted injustice itself. They had seen creatures who could destroy worlds, but chose instead to protect them. And in the end, that made all the difference.